Hello. Good afternoon. Things looked a bit broken at the end there. I've been messing around with my streaming setup. I'm trying some different stuff, so things may look a little bit funky while I figure it all out. But you know, we'll get there. Yeah, I'm currently trying to figure out what the hell's going on with these. This is fine. This is no. This is supposed to be YouTube. If it looks like I'm moving my ass around randomly as well, it's because I'm working on something in the foreground, which you can't see. Haha. So yeah, well, I'm not too sure what's going on with that. I think it's potentially something to do with like the bot that I have for reading chat messages. Yes. And like it is literally just this. Try sending another message, Ken. I've just changed something. I'm gonna see if it's done anything. Yes. Okay. No, I have no idea. I'll have to look into it. But for now, oh, I just realized I think I might know. I bet I know. I'm not going to spend too long trying to fix this, don't worry. So, can I... I don't know. I think I might know. I think it's basically a case of I have multiple streams scheduled on my YouTube. So the bot has joined the wrong chat. At a guess. But I'm not sure how I can actually even check that, so it's... yeah, probably a little bit futile at the moment. So, never mind. We'll just get on to solving puzzles then, shall we? Won't waste any more time. And I'll figure it out. I'm sure. Right. We're dealing with boxy today. All regions are rectangular. And for this one, all regions must have an area of exactly 3. So they're going to be that or that, basically. So we can probably start with here. Because at the bottom, it's either going to be that or that. Because this will extend up on the left into it and push it out. Go into it itself. That then leaves this little bit that needs to be filled by something. And that just has to go 3 straight up. So that allows us to fill in the rest. And then just fill in everything like that. That's nice. Boxy and area numbers. So well, we can start with that 1, can't we? This 3 will then go up there. This 4 will go along. This 6 can now only fit in there. Got a 3 along the bottom. We have to have another 1 there. So nothing else can get into there, and then we've got 4 into 2. Precision 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's only 5. So we do need a 6 like that straight away. Which then means we also need 1 there. And means we also need 1 there. Then we can get 1 over the top here, which is 6. My mouse is being a little fun today. It's been like doing weird clicks. But not like consistently. Down the bottom here, we have another 6. We have another 6 in there. And then we can split this right in half to get the last 2 6s. I only gave us 1 green area for that. Feels wrong. Boxy and mismatch. Ooh, all regions must be a different shape. Interesting. So that sort of feels like our starting point. I was going to start with like one of these ends, but I feel like this is actually the way to go. Because you can just sort of go straight up the side there to make 1 big boxy region that is not now going to be duplicated anywhere else. And then you have a 4. Then you have a 3. And then you have a 2, and you have a 1. With rose windows. So. Well, because we're working with boxy, you can sort of, there's going to be like weird conflicts. So like, let's see. So, well, yeah, this triangle in the corner has to pick up a red. It's obviously not going to pick this up, because the only way it could do that is by having a box that covers the entire grid, which obviously is not happening. So it's picking up this red or this red. So it's either going all the way up the side or all the way along the bottom. In fact, it is going to be up the side, because then we've got that as a region, and that as a region. Okay, now things have opened up for us. Boxy and rose windows, but only single. Actually, yeah, so that you've just got to like grab these awkward bits, and then we're done. Let's go back to the good bit quickly off that item. Simple boxy, exactly. There's one hiding under here, but okay, there we go. Peekaboo. I like this one on the little floaty rock here as well. Two ones. These 4s could be together. These 3s are not going to be together. These 4s have to be together. Those 3s are separate, and then there's a 2, and then there's a 1. Cool. This is a bigger one. We'll start with this. Got the precision 4 rule to worry about. Whoops. And then this bit at the bottom makes that hard to sort of do anything other than just a 2x2. And that gives us this to come up out of. We get another 2x2 there, and another 4 long. This now has to be 4 long. 2x2, 4 long, 2x2 here, 4 long there, 4 long there, 2x2 and 2x2. Very nice. Oh, this is a 3. Oh, I don't know. Getting straight into a 3 seems a bit risky. do this too, shall we? Rose windows and boxies, again, all fairly simple. So I think this one's going to be more about what can take where. So this tile, this one here, only this circle can get to that square, right? This one can't come out to the right, because otherwise then this is no longer fillable. So that stays as 1 by 1. This then has to extend down into here, because it can't go up further. This now has to fill in to the right there. That completes that as a shape. Now we've got this spot where only this can get to. So that fills that out. This now can only fill in here, so that fills that out. It'll extend further that way. Now we've got these two, which this purple will fill out. This turquoise needs to get over to these two. Yeah. Can't go any further north. This has to get all the way over to here, but that'll fill in the top there. So that can't go south any further now. That fills in there, and then that fills out the rest of it. Okay. One minute. Okay, sorry about that. With the sneaky one. Shape bank. Well, that feels a little bit redundant. All regions must be one of these shapes. That's basically identify the box. Oh, that's a nice looking blue. I like that. There, we just shoop, 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 shoop. There we go. Boxes. Oh, we've got a 6 right on the edge there. What about that? Don't know about that. Hang on. No, this was a 1. Boxy and solitude. Every region contains a single symbol. Got a 9 here. So that's got to be a 3 by 3. But now that gives us a 4 down the side there. What is going to take this square? That'll be the 6. It's going to have to be the 5. So the 5 will just go straight up the side there. That gives us a 2 and the 3. So it's a 6 there now, and the 3 there, and the 4. Hello, Asher. How are you? Another solitude here. So 1 and 1. Nice and easy. Yes. Yeah, not too bad. I've been playing around with my streaming setup. So you probably missed it at the start, but I was saying if anything looks funky, that'll be why. And speaking of funky, these boxes on the side, top one isn't working because that's meant to be the YouTube chat, but it's not showing up for some reason, and I don't know why. Anyway. Oh, sneaky tip. Oh, we're not got Okita. She'd be loving this. Oh well. There's a 4. The 6 will have to take these 2 spots, so that's our 6 there. 6 will have to take these ones down. 3 on the side there. That 4 will have to be there. This 6 now goes along the bottom. 3 just above it there. That 3 there, and then a 4 and a 4. Do this 3 then. Just upside down hard. Oh. What color is it in hang on. Search this. Second. I'll get there. Bum 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 bum. Yellow. So if we make this all yellow. Ah, the stripes break it. No. Anyway. It's the Undertale, yellow soul for being a shoot. Minor excursion. I apologize. Right. Boxy. Boxy, boxy, boxy. Where do we start? I'm going to start in this bottom right corner with this red, actually. Because the only blue that can pick up is this one, right above it. And then it can't go to the left at all, because then it locks this blue out from going anywhere. So that could go up 1 more. But that is solid. But that now puts pressure on this blue just above it, which can now only pick up this red. That puts pressure on the next circle above that, which can only pick up that blue. That puts pressure on that one, and then that one. Then where do we have? Well, this blue now has pressure on it to only pick up this red. This red can only pick up this blue, and that is just straight up locked in there, so that's nice. This blue can only pick up this red. Those 2 are now connected, and these 2 are now connected. So now we just need to fill out the gaps. So that's there and that's there. Whee! Inside the box, restore the boxy window. But we're not done yet. Ooh. Mismatch and palisade. How? What? Palisade. Well, start with this one, because that's a corner, so it has to come up to the north here. It has to go up. Now it can't go right, I think. Because if it goes right, it has to pick this up. Oh no, it could go right, and then it would just be that. What it can't do actually is go up to pick this up, because that would force that down a channel, and then this has to go left or right, and it's no longer a boxer. So put a wall here, that puts a wall here, that extends that out to that. Might as well put all the walls in there. That does give us the wall for this now, actually, which means this blue does pick it up. So that is a region now. And then we're going to have to use the mismatch rule now. So if this was a new region, it would go up and it would be a 2x2. And then, yeah, okay. And then you've got a 2x2 here, or two 1x1s, which both break the mismatch. So this extends into here. That is our one region. And then we've got a 2. So this can't go to the right, it has to go to the left. And then we've got a 3 and a 1. It's lost for a second. I was like, which one were we just doing? Basically the same rule set as last time. We've got a corner there already, so that is that. It hits this wall, so we can extend that to there. Do the same down here. Extends down. One of these now has to extend and the other one can't. Because the second one does. You then have a new corner. That makes it a 3x2. So that will then make the other one a 3x2. This we can say goes up because it's got its one line for a corner. Now can't go to the left because of that existing wall. So that gives us another box here. So this is our 2x2. So this has to be a 3x2. Got a 1x1 down here. Probably. No. Because if that's a 1x1, then we can't fill out this. So that is a 3x1, 2x2, and then a 3x3 at the top. Which the game beat me to. I was getting there. I knew it. It's just slower explaining than it. Just boxy and palisade to work with. So I'm not entirely sure where to start this, because there seems to be lots of options on face value. So, for example, they could be part of the same region in, like, various permutations. Actually, no, there have to be. Because if they're not, then all of a sudden they're extending up. They need to make a corner which cannot be completed as a boxy region. So this has to go, well, it needs to connect to its lower half, and then it will go left or right. We can do, I want to say the same but opposite logic. So let's say this corner does connect to the neighboring icon, then you have a forbidden shape. So they do not connect. That goes up and down here. This can't go down to make an L, so that needs to go up for a square. So one's here. This needs to go to the left one. I think this is a 2x2 there and a 1x1. Yeah. This one? Ooh. Oh, goodness, okay. Boxy mismatch and area number, so... I mean, how many ways are there to make a 6x6 region? Oh, a 6 area region in a box? There's only 2, right? You either have it 6 long or 6 high, which... for the purposes of the rules are matching, or you have it as a 2x3. So basically they link, oh well, 2 of them link this could go down, and then this could be a box. Or you have those 2, and they have the line. Okay. Well, it's going to be the same with the 4s as well, right? Again, you can only have a 2x2 or 4 long. So there's only going to be 2 between these. And that will just straight up be that. There is no other way for them to be constructed. Which then does give us the 6s. So that's a 6 there. That's a 6 there. Then we have some things to fill out. That can't be a 1. We've already got a 1. We've already got a 2. So it's a 3. This can't be a 1, 2, or 3, so that has to be 4. Can't be a 4, so it has to be at least a 5. But then that makes this tricky at the end. So I think that's just going to go straight across the top, and that's 7. And then we can have a big shape there and a big shape there, so 10 out of 9. Okay. Solitude. Well, second row. There's 6 on the second row. That can't go right, so it has to go down at least 5. This 6 could go all the way along, but it will need to at least take those 3. This 6 might be a bit trickier, but I think I can at least do a little bit with it. So it needs to at least take 1 above it, because it could be a 6 there. It could be a 6 there or there. Or it could be a 6 going straight up, so it takes those 2 at least. Which then puts pressure on this 6, because it can no longer go to the left too far. So it needs to take at least those 2. We don't have... Oh no, hang on. Each region contains a single signal. So, actually that does help us. This bottom right corner has to be this green region. Because it can't be a new region, because then it won't have a symbol in it. So that actually does help us a little bit, and I had sort of dismissed it. So this bottom left corner now, this 4 is the only number that can pick it up, because this 6 can only go 1 more down, and anything else would have to wrap around a corner. And now this spot above it sort of follows the same logic. This 6 is the only one that can reach it. So we get them done. This 6 can now go along here, which means this is 6 long. So now we've got this top right corner, which this 6 is never going to get to, so this one has to do it like that. This 4 needs to go down to pick up this corner. This 6 needs to go right to pick up that corner. This 6 can't get all the way up. Can this 6 get over there? It could. This 4 could go down, so that's not limited. This one is limited, though, actually. No, it's not, because either of these 2 could get it. Grumble. Oh, hang on. This 6 now can't just be straight up. So that is like so. Now this can extend at least 1 more up. And now, this right-hand side is a lot tricky to fill in, so that 4 will have to go over, that 6 will have to go over. That completes this 6, here we go. We're getting there. This 6 is now forced there, that 4 goes there, that 4 goes there, and the 6 goes there. We got there eventually, once I remembered the limitation of the solitude rule. 7. Well, this is a 7 wide grid. See that, so that has to go across. Actually, all of these are odd numbers. Apart from, oh, excuse me, there's 2. So that puts some nice limits on things. So we can only, we can say there's no ambiguity on like the width or the height. They are always going to be a 1 wide. This 5 can't fit in there, so it needs to go up at least 4. This 5 can't go up or down, so that goes to the right 5. This 5 is now forced into this gap. This 5 now is forced to go left, right. It only take 2 to the right, so it needs to at least take 2 to the left. This top right corner. Both of these 3s need to encroach onto it. One of them will enter it, but we don't know which one. That now makes this bottom right corner only fillable by that 5. This 5 joins in on the shenanigans here. This 3 is limited. That 3 can only go to the right. So that 3 goes there, that 3 goes there, that 3 goes there, that 3 goes there, that 5 goes there, and the 2 goes there. Whoa. I want you to look at this bridge. Oh, hello. So, Box's Solitude and Palisade. So none of these have edges, so we cannot immediately do this with all of them. Right? And they are all separate regions. And they need to be boxy so we can fill in the corners that we've just missed. They all do this. And then we're going to have all of these sort of weird spots where things can't fit. Or only one of the shapes are going to be able to fit. So this can extend to the right. This can extend up and to the left. Green can extend up. The red is going to have to extend down from this, which means the green now extends up as well. This pink in the middle will extend to the right. So that's finished, that's finished. The pink can't extend anymore, so that's finished. So the wall here, this has to fill in down at the bottom, so that's finished. This will finish over there, and that will finish over there. Very big squares. Big boxes. Well, not squares, rectangles. Oh, there's our silver window. Interesting. So same rule set. The same grid size as well, I think. 81. No, this was 100. Okay. Slightly smaller. But now all of these are like edges. And I think this is actually going to be quite elegant. So there's like limits on what can take where. So this, yeah, this spot next to this palisade. That palisade is the only one that can actually pick up that square. So we're going to be able to do that like all the way around the grid. Great. So this one can only be picked up by that. This one can only be picked up by that. This one only by that. And that doesn't necessarily give us the fence on those palisades, because it could be like that, for example. It doesn't have to be that. Are there any other spots that we can do this with now? I don't think so, you know. Makes it a bit tricky to know where to go next. Because, like, all of these could sort of make a perimeter, right? Oh, okay, actually, hang on. Let me... So... Just mine was clicking. This one, anyway. There's something interesting going on with the relationship between these two. And I'm not sure. Okay. I think whichever way one goes, so let's say that this one has its wall on the south end. That's a very straight line I just did there. Impressive. Yeah. Because it's not a corner, so it needs to be extending like that, wherever its wall ends up being. So if it's on the south, now it's touching this one, which then also forces that. And now I'll have to go down. And you can do the same the other way. So if the wall is on this side, it will force it that way. Which now means we've sort of got a sort of like block here. Which means this, it's like an inverse sort of relationship. But it basically means, like, there can't be a wall here, right? So let's say there was a wall here. This would now have to take these and that, and it would have to now be square, which means it's taking this. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I meant to press clear notes. So this goes to the left. And I think we can do the same with this. Like the inverse of it. Because again, there's a wall either there or there, which then forces itself here. And it can't be a corner. So it has to extend out. And it either does it that way, does it that way, which means it's always taking these two. So it's always taking that 2x2 there. And now that has given us something a bit more to work with now, I think. So this new pink region has to take these two, because no other region will be able to squeeze in. Okay. That was sort of useful, but I don't know how I can continue that logic. Actually, can I now do it on this corner? Because this, I mean, it could stay there. No, I mean, it can't stay there. It needs to extend one way or the other. But whichever way it extends, it's going to have an impact on this. So let's say it does extend to the left, like at all. We then force a wall here, which then forces a wall all the way along there. But that forces this down to be there. And if it doesn't extend that way, then you'd have a wall here instead. Then could force it like that, I guess. I think, regardless though, actually, it does take those four because of the same kind of logic. It's a little bit more roundabout, but I think it does work. And I think it's basically wherever we get these corners now between regions. As long as one of them has palisade, you end up with that 2x2 that's forced. now gives us some more to go on this. Extend all the way up there, in fact. This is a new region and there's a wall there, so that gives us quite a lot to go on. In fact, that can't go any further north, it can't go any further east. West even, that's west. Then forces this, forces it to go there. Gives us a wall, that forces this here. And there. That's the only region that could take that. So yeah, now it's sort of all falling into place. This takes there. That now has to take there. That has to take there. This has to be taken by this region. This fills out on the top. This fills down the side, and then this finishes off here. There we go. And like, that was a difficulty 4, so I'm dreading what the difficulty 6 at the end is there. So I think we're not going to bother with that just now. We'll come back to it. Let's find some of the other slightly easy ones. Got a 4, a 3, and a 4. We'll do the 3 first. Oh, Delta and Gemini. So I think there's something to be gleaned from this weird sort of meh mess of deltas and Gemini. Other way around. Mess of Geminis and a delta. So that's a 1. That has to be a 1, that has to be a 1. This has to be something different. So that's no longer able to be a 1. But it can't be a 2 because then it connects up and then that makes everything else 2s. So everything here has to be 2s, at least instead. And they can only be 2s because this one can no longer extend any further. Because if it extends any further, it connects to the delta and breaks the symmetry. So that's a 1. All of these are 2s. This is now a 2 across this Gemini. This can only be a 1. These have to be something different to a... Well, this has to be something different to a 1 or a 2. It could be a 2x2. But it could also be like you have a 3 across the top here. And then you have like a 1 here. But actually, I think I can see why that can't be the case because of this delta and Gemini here. So if this is 3, this now needs to be 3. And that's the only place it can fit in. And it now means the delta doesn't work. So that is a 2x2. This needs to be a 2x2. Can't go up because it connects to a Gemini, which can't have 2x2 above it. This has to be 2 there, 2 there, 1 and a 1. Whoa. Mingle shape polyominoes. So mingle shape's not quite as restrictive as the previous ones we were working with. I've forgotten what it's called for the rule. Where it's every region in the puzzle needs to be different. This one is only touching regions. So we can start with these 1s right out the gate. Yeah. Do the shift clicks. Fine. And we're gonna have some of these which are rather penned in. So like this 3 can only go that way. This 3 can also only go south. This 3 can only go to the right. This 4 can only go up. This 3 can now only go up. This 3 can only go to the right. This 4 can go either way. It doesn't look like we've got anything else we can do just yet with the polyominoes, but we can start working with these dead ends. So this can't be a 1, has to be a 2. It can't be big. This same can't be a 1, can't be a 2 because then it's neighboring 2 2s. So it has to be at least 3, but now it's neighboring a 3, so it has to be a 4. This is a 2. We can do the same in here maybe. So they can't be a 2 because then they're neighboring a 2. So it's a 2 will edge itself in. Do the same up here, 1 with a 2. This can't be a 1. Can't be a 2 because it's neighboring a 2 there, so it has to go to this 3. This 2 can't go into the left, right? Because then it cuts this area, which needs to have something which will end up breaking a rule somewhere. So that goes up. It's a 2 by 2 there. Hi, Aria. I still don't have a lurk bot set up or whatever it is I need for that. Welcome to the stream, though. What should I do next? Where am I looking? It's really a little stuck. It's got to be here, right? I can't see where else it would be at the moment. So well, we've only got a couple of ways that this can go. Well, it's got 3 ways it can go. If it goes... If it does go up and down, not sure. Doesn't seem to put pressure on anything. If it goes left and right, though, does that put pressure anywhere? It puts pressure on this. And puts pressure on this. But there's nothing definitive there. What I do want to kind of be is just like a big square in the middle. Ah, no, okay. This 3 can't be vertical because it's touching another 3. There we go. So this has to go left and right. Which then does push that to there. Pushes this or like that. Is there a reason they can't just go to the right? Yes. Because then this has to go to the left and it breaks this region here. So this has to go down. Got a 2x2 there. And then we do just have a big blob in the middle. Yay. We'll do this 4. We've got 4 rules for this. 4 rules. That feels like the most we've had. There must have been another 4 before. Anyway. Gemini and Delta, fine. Area numbers, fine. Boxy. So, well, we can start right in the bottom corner, right? That 6 can only go. No, back 6 could go all the way along the bottom. So. One there, one there. One up there. Well, if this 6 takes up that region, this then needs to be a 6. And that's a 6, which is fine. I think it is going to be this. Feels more gut feeling at the moment, but I think it will be. So now this can't be a 1, so that one will be a 2. This 2 now can't go to the right, so that will go back. This 4 could do that, but it probably does that. This 2, though, has to go up, and this 4 will take up there. That 2 will go there. This would have to be a 1. Have the 4 here, 4 here, and 4 there. There we go. Yeah, that one was just gut feeling. Okay. Is that all for this area for now? I think it might be. Apart from the 6, yeah, looks like it. Okay. Yeah, and we've got this new area unlocked. That is, everything is. Okay. We'll tackle that next time. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, let's go back and do some of these. Should we do a hard puzzle? Or should we do some of these? Sort of in-betweeny ones. I think we do the in-betweeny ones. Let's go do the campsite. Which was, what was it? Range. Boom on the range. So, yeah, minimum of at least 3. Gemini and Area 12. Now I'm going to have to get it out of my head. I'm gonna have to get it out of my head that things can be shapes other than boxes now. Not everything needs to be a box. Not everything needs to be a box. Not everything needs to be a box. So otherwise it's like, well, this 12 doesn't fit. I'm sort of thinking that like the 12 doesn't touch these. We have like a 3, a 3, a 3, a 3, and the 12 wraps around here. I mean, it doesn't work. So, if it doesn't work, could it be something like this instead? No. Then that's only 11. So we've got 13 that we need to work with. So that does mean I am right about this not touching a Gemini. Because if this touches a Gemini, then we need another 12. Which means we are left with a 1. Which breaks the minimum region. So, this does not touch a Gemini. So that's all the spots that it could take. But well, what we could have Let's fill this in again. We've got 13 spots to be working with. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're left with a 1. So we'd need a 4, a 4. It can't be a 4 and 4. So it'd have to be a 5 and a 5, and then a 3. So we need 2 5s and a 3. Right. So there's got to be a way to get a 5. Is that 6? Means you end up with 6 and 6. Again, you end up with the 1. This is surprisingly tricky. Ooh. No, that's not going to work. I have got my maths right. Yes, right? Well. So 30. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. One remaining. So it can't be threes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remainder 1. Of course. So 5s, which is 5, 10. Remainder 3. Which does work. And then 6s and 7s aren't going to work. 6 is 12, remainder 1, 7 is 14. Or, hang on, 7. 7. Seven, 3, 3. But if it's 7, 3, 3, then that still really struggles on these Geminis. Six. A 5 and a 5, but I'm always struggling with this last bit on the Gemini. One, two, three, four, 7. Hang on, could it be 4, 4, 8, 10? No, it can't be that. Wait, is that? Ah. 3, 3, 4. Did I think of 3, 3, 4? I don't know, but I've done it. I did it. Yeah, I feel like my poor maths failed me there. You know, It probably could have done that. Ooh. What is it? Mini Muse? No, Mini Moo. Mums? Mini Mums? No, that's not an S, that's a backwards S. It's definitely telling me something. Right. Minimum 2. So... we can probably, like... minimum... minimum... yeah, we've got a lot of these sort of dead ends that then mean we can't have them wrapping around, so we can call them separate regions at the very least. But then they sort of... yeah. There's kind of bleed over in areas that we can sort of make assumptions, I guess. So, no, we don't need to make assumptions. Right, so let's start over on the right, because this needs to be at least these 3. It could be 4, but because it's on the Gemini, it means this would need to be exactly the same shape, which it cannot be. So, they are set. Now, we have this delta and this Gemini to contend with. So this can't just be a 3 and a 3. So this is going to have to be a 2. Can't leave a 1 on the right, so it'll go there. This now has to be a 2 below, so that puts another 2 on the left here. Now on this delta, we're dealing with at least a 3. Dealing with more than a 3 because we've also got a delta here, so that keeps on going 1 more at least. It can't go down. It could go to the left. And then you've actually got the spaces there to match that all on the Gemini, so that is possible. This is a 2 down here, this is a 2 here, so actually that is the case. T up here, so now got a Gemini here on a 2, so that's completed. This has to be, yeah, more than 2, so it has to be at least 3. But then we've got this on the right hand side, which can't be a new region, so it has to go to the right one. Means this needs to go up to the left or right, at least. If it goes to the right, that L, oh, could be made there. Okay. If it's a T, though, no, a T could still be made. No, it can't, because then we're left with 1s. Okay, that's something I was not thinking of. Okay, so yeah, let's say this goes to the right. That then means that's the only way that can fit in there, which leaves you with 3 ones. So that doesn't go to the right. It goes to the left. We just figured out that it can't be a T for the same reason. You're left with ones. So that gives us a 3 here now. That's a 3 along the top. And then we've got, yeah, a T to finish it off. Ooh. Anything hiding around the back that we've not done? Oh, there's that one back there. Is that all there is? Doo-doo-doo. Yes, let's do this one then. Minimum of 8. That's a big minimum. Well, how many were there? 25. So 25 and 1 Gemini. So that is 16 ruled out. So we'll have 2 8s and a 9. So the 9's probably going to be like wiggling its way between it. Trying to figure out what kind of symmetrical shape I can even have across that Gemini. That's 8. Is it sort of like I can fit shapes in, but not in a way that works? Ooh. Ooh. That almost feels right. Almost. Almost. But then we're left with this up in the corner. It's the five length sides that are really sort of throwing me. So it's sort of like if I have 5 here, then this, wherever this goes, needs to also have a 5. Which that is now the only 5 available, right? And then if it gets over to the Gemini, it breaks the symmetry. So you can't have 5. But oh, it feels like no matter what we're doing, we're getting painted into a corner. Maybe I need to look more at these deltas. So, is there any way for one side of the Gemini to get to this other side of this delta? And like doing that just now, it looks like no to me. Wait, have I just done it accidentally? I've just done it accidentally. Of course I did. Yay, I did it. Right, I want to get my head around this. So, this shape is flipped along this axis over to here. A 4 and a 4. I mean, I was trying to get something like that in my head, I think. I just couldn't quite figure out how to, like, translate it properly. Okay. Minimum 4 and rows windows. 1, 2. Let's get some color going and walls where we need. This circle in the top right has to take this. So that's the minimum it could do. Which means this has to squeeze out here because there will be a wall there. now means this as well only has at most one to get to. So 1, 2, 3. That limits this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That limits this one. 2, 3, 4. This is now limited as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. That limits this. Go this way, which now puts a limit on this to be a 2x2. This can keep going. 1, 2, 3. This is now completed. This has to edge its way out. That's completed. That's completed. That's completed. This is the only one that can get over to here. That's done. That's completed. That's completed, and that's completed. Yeah. Nice easy one after that last one. Ooh. Ooh. And now we've got maximum. All regions must have an area of 8 at most. Well, this is a 4. And that is going to be there or there. So that's the only way it can pick up 2 colors. So we can put a wall up there and down there. They're separate regions. That's another separate region. This yellow, actually. So it's gonna leave like empty areas. So that is the only way it can get a red circle without leaving empty areas, I think. And in fact, I think that's the only one that it can get to, because the second you go for any other, you no longer have a blue to pair it with, even if it does stick under 8. So that will do that. And then now this one. I want to say does like the same with nestling in. If it does do that, how? You'd have that and that and them. And then you'd need to figure out how to fill in this last 8. That can't take any more. That can only take half of it, and that one's stuck. So actually, that was sort of valuable information there. This is the only 4 in the entire puzzle. Everything else is exactly 8. So that means... What does that mean? That means that's impossible, actually, I think, because those two need to pair up, and they can't get any more. They can get most 1. So, okay. This goes to the right. No, because then you end up with the same problem. You get only 5. Have I think I've miscalculated. Hang on. 28. 28 divided by 7. So if I instead do 28 minus 4, then we've got 24 divided by 3 is 8. Okay. Hang on, isn't that exactly? It goes there. I'm dumb, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was like, it has to be a wall there. No, it can go up and take those two. Ugh. So we can do what I was doing before. That does fill in there. Sort of fills in that, and then this fills in the rest. There we go. Ugh. Ugh, I feel sick. Okay. So there's that one there. This one. Range 3 to 5, and we've got a lot of area numbers to tell us. We can start with like these 2 5s, I guess, because they can only go 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's 5. At minimum. So that means we can put a wall here on this 4. This 4 now only has that space to fit in. This 4 now has a limit on it of that, which now means this 3 has a limit on it. This 5 can keep going. So at least that traps this 4 in. This 5 is now sort of trapped in, which traps the 3 in. And then we're gonna have to do some sort of fiddling to get these last bits in. So this 5, this 5, we'll go down on there. This 5 needs to go over to here. Which now means this 5 can't finish off this area, so that has to go down, that has to go up. That goes there. Ah! I was like, this doesn't make sense, but no, it's 3 to 5. We've got a final 3 in there. There we go. Hey, gilded window. Save the hard 6. Do a couple more here. Ooh, 26. Minimum of 2. There's a 36 region. This. Yeah, there we go. Ping. Get that one right. That one was a feel. It was a vibe, you know. Ooh, hello. Maximum 4. What ones we can do? Mingle shape as well. Different shapes. So this can't be a 1, can't be a 2, can't be a 3. Oh no, they're different shapes. So it can be a 3 or a 4. It just means that they need to do something else other than just go straight. 2 set. This can't be a 1, can't be a 2. Be a 3 going down all right. So 3. I'm not too sure. This 3. If we say it connects up here, actually, something that's better to do. This 2 can't go up. There we go. Missed that. That 2 has to go down. My mouse, I swear, being really weird. So now that means this has to be a 1. Because it can't connect to that 3 now. The 3 wouldn't be able to escape, so that's 1. That's the 3 there. This can't be 1. Can't be 2. Mouse, come on. Could be 3. This 3 has to escape like so. No, something's gone wrong here. So now I've got this. Oh, this can be a 1. That is a 1. So now this can be up to 2. This can be at least a 3. That 2 goes up. And that's still wrong. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, what was my mistake? My mistake was with this. I had filled that in. I had extended it out. Because I was like, oh, it can't be a 1. No, it could be a 1. This at the bottom can't be a 1, can't be a 2, be a 3, could be a 4, gives us a 2 there. So yeah, now it's like, well, this can't be 2. Can't be 2 1s. So the 3 has to go down. That is a 1 on that. Now this 4 has to go. No. Could wrap around that. Oh, no. Okay. This has to be a 4. So that is now definitely a 4. So this 4 does need to come down. It needs to go to the right. That gives us a 3 there. Gives us a 2 there. Finishes that 4. Gives us that 4 and 3 on the left. The right. Left, right, same thing. Okay. Is that all of them in the campground? I think so, apart from the hard one at the end. Which... oh, I don't know. Do we take a peek at? Not sure. Maybe not. How are we doing on time? Got a little bit more time, so let's see if we can't do some. No, tell you what. No, we we're doing all right time. We'll leave it there. Not run any longer. And next time we'll come back with whatever's going on with this little funky castle. Some interesting stuff up ahead. Sort of like castle gardens, maybe. And it kind of looks like because we've got all of these puzzles unlocked, there's probably not any new rules. And then I reckon actually this is going to be the same as where are we? This, where it's like a sort of progress check, I guess. Just like, okay, here you go. So yeah, we'll look at this area next. But for now, we'll leave it there, I think. We are entering into a heat wave this week, so another heat wave, the third heat wave of the year. Go. And it's looking like it's gonna be the longest, so hopefully it won't affect things too much. And we'll be able to keep going. Aircon is a lifesaver. Really is. I would be suffering so much without it. But yeah, we're leaving it there for this week. Not this week. Today. Having more puzzles later. Not puzzles. More games later in the week. Well, Mina. Yeah, it should be a bit more regular than last week at least. With the schedule changes because of Friday. Right. Anyway, enough babbling. I will catch you all later. Thanks for joining. And I'll see you hopefully on Friday. Probably not Wednesday. I've not got anything lined up. So. Catch you later. Take care, everyone. Think you can. Bye. Hang on. See, this is what I mean about things being funny. My music wasn't playing again. Change that. Okay, let's try that again. Bye bye.